Long Island author Kerriann Flanagan Brosky says she's always felt a strong spiritual connection to the sea. She says it's something she can never fully understand or explain why, only ponder what that connection could be.
Since I was a little girl, I always loved the water, family vacations out in Montauk Point and always at the beach, and I do the same thing with my own family. But it's become even stronger that I have a need that I have to be at the beach.
For several years, therapist and author Richard Scheinberg from the Sunrise Counseling Center in East Islip has been helping people to recover what he says are hidden memories of past lives through a process called past life regression therapy. Scheinberg also wrote the book Seeking Soulmates, Spirit Guides in Past Lives.
The idea of reincarnation it's always been a thought. You know, I think most people in this country think that that's true, that we do come around more than once. However, you know, philosophically it's one thing, but to actually believe that you can recall past life memories is pretty amazing. And I was a healthy skeptic. I was, I would hear about it, but there was this one person, Brian Weiss. He's probably the most famous guy on this topic. I heard him speak, and I said, "Wow, this guy's got something here." I was like, "Wow, this is like goes far beyond therapy. This can be used in conjunction with the therapy I'm already doing. It's a way to tie spirituality into therapy, which is very rare, unfortunately."
Kerriann is no stranger to spiritual issues. She wrote the Ghosts of Long Island book series and decided to undergo a past life regression session after having Richard Scheinberg on as a guest on her weekly blog talk radio program, the Kerriann and Joe Show Spirit Connection, which she co-hosts with Joe Giaquinto.
And it's been really a spiritual journey for me of not only things that I'm discovering about Long Island's history and spirits and ghosts and that sort of thing, but it's also a very spiritual book. And so I've learned things about myself and about the afterlife in the process. So for me, I consider myself to be a religious person and a spiritual person. So this was sort of a next step. I've always wanted to try it, and now the fact that I happen to know Richard Scheinberg, he is an author in the Long Island Authors Group, where I'm the president, and his book is absolutely wonderful. And I think that that's part of the key too, because you want someone that you know and that you can trust and everything, and he has a wonderful reputation.
Brosky talked about her hopes and expectations of the session to recover some possible past life memories, and says she had a few concerns as well.
I believe that this isn't our only life, and that we can learn from the past, so why not learn from the way, way past, in another life? You see how they can relate to certain things today, or it was why I like certain things, or why, maybe something would make me nervous, or something would make me happy, so maybe there will be a connection formed today, we'll see. I'm a little nervous only because it's the unknown. It's something new for me. Hopefully I wasn't an axe murderer in a past life. I have a very happy life. I'm a very grounded person. I think I'm very positive. So I think that if I did have something really horrific, then maybe I would have more problems in this lifetime now. But you never know. So hopefully it won't be that, but time will tell.
Scheinberg describes the technique of past life regression hypnosis. He says this is used to access the memories of past lives.
You start out with a deep meditative experience, and then the coach, the therapist, leads you to that place where you can get a little bit deeper. You get into a light hypnotic trance. The therapist just has to suggest that maybe there was something there before you were born, and then you're on your own. You coach a person into a place where they're in a deep meditative trance, and they do recall everything afterward. It's not like stage hypnosis. You recall everything after the fact. But they get to a place where they find themselves in another time and place.
During the session, Brosky reported seeing and experiencing visions of a past life in Tibet in the year 1600.
What does your wife like to call you? How does she call you? What is your name?
I keep hearing like Chiba.
Chiba.
Like there's a mountain or something to my left. I don't know why, but I just sense that. It's like calm water. I can hear it lapping. It smells like salt. It smells like salt. But yet it doesn't feel like it's the beach. It's like rocky, kind of sandy, but it's not a big area. The house is open like a gazebo kind of thing. It's open on the sides. And you could hear the water. And I'm holding like a staff or something. Just walking, looking out over the water. It's peaceful. I feel like just contemplating something, but I don't know what.
What's your feet? Tell me what's on your feet.
Brown sandals, worn like a man's sandal. I keep getting like an image of a Tibetan robe. Sandals, like men's sandals, not something I would wear.
After the session, she drew pictures of what she saw and talked over the meaning of the experience with Scheinberg.
I was just seeing like these white, puffy clouds, like peaceful clouds.
Yeah.
And then I just had like the physical sensation, like something looming over like a mountain. And then it just, as you guided it, it started
really kind of
becoming. And then the sandals were like right in my face kind of thing. Like, and I said, wait, whose feet are these? They're not mine, you know? And I could still picture it now as you were saying it to me. Like I could picture it very clear looking down and saying, you know, it's not my shoes. I wouldn't wear shoes like that. What am I wearing, you know? It was a rough place, but it was beautiful to look at. It was like that this house was in between these mountains, like the rest of the town was up and away. Yeah, and I'm surprised. I'm really, you know, not that I had any doubts in this whole process, but I thought it would just be like, oh yeah, that's what I did, and that's it. I didn't really think it would have as great of an effect.
You know, if our spirit guides are here today, they were here to remind you what your mission is right now. Your mission is to keep it simple, get back to basics, get off the treadmill. You don't need to feel so stressed. You just need to, you know, find your peace.
Right.
And that's already deep inside you. You just have to rediscover it.
Yeah, because I feel so much better mentally and emotionally. I do. I feel like I don't know, like I've been through a massive therapy session or a healing or something, you know. But again, I keep going back to that water. I mean, because I sensed it, I saw it, I could feel it, and that was the most prominent things. There's always been a constant yearning that I wish that I lived closer to the sea. Always, that has been, always. And that's how I am today. I could have really terrible things on my mind or bothering me. That's the only place that I could find true solace completely. I mean, it's like a cleansing. That you can survive hardships and still enjoy it. That was like the sense, like he seemed very like at peace, even though things weren't that great. Like nothing seemed to bother him, kind of thing. Like he was just, well, this is life. This is life. Yeah.
Several months after that session, we re-interviewed Kerriann about her experience. She says her memories of that past life have actually gotten stronger with time.
A couple of months had gone by, and it was Thanksgiving weekend of 2011, and I was visiting my brother out on the East End, and we all went, my family and my brother's family went to Reeves Beach in Riverhead. And I do this constantly in the summer, in the winter time. I'm always at the beach. And I was walking along the beach, and I find driftwood, and I collect it. And it's not uncommon for me to pick up longer pieces and start walking with them. But on this particular day, I found this, and I picked it up, and I started walking with it. And I put my hand here, and as I started walking, it was like all of the memories came flooding back to me. I had recalled that I had used a staff just like this in my past life. And the images became clearer and clearer as I walked with it. And again, I found straight pieces that doesn't have this top, and nothing has come to me. But this particular piece, because it was a difficult life back in the 1600s, and he was isolated, and he had his wife and his son, and he used this to get around, but there was a piece of like animal skin, from what I recall, in this area. So it was just amazing to me to have found this. After that, we met with Linda Carlson, who is an art therapist, and she brought out even more of those images and thoughts that were in my subconscious. She had pieces of paper with circles, and I made my own sketches, and everything was coming back more and more to me of what the area looked like, the terrain. I still at this point did not know where it was exactly in Tibet, but I vividly recalled what the water looked like, the mountains, the terrain behind me, that there was a palace way out in the distance above a hill, and I was sort of living in this valley, isolated from the rest of the world. And I couldn't believe how clear it came back. And then when Linda went home and did some research, she found out it was from the town of Lhasa. And I did a Google search on the image, and all of these images came up that matched the sketches I had done. And it just blew me away. I mean, the mountains were the Himalayan mountains, and everything I was finding matched what I had drawn in my own sketches. So it was absolutely incredible. And again, what I've learned from this experience, that in that lifetime, it was very harsh. It was a difficult time period, but I had gotten through that. And I got through it because of being out in nature and being by the sea and the water. And that was my focus, to know what to go back to, that grounding sensation. And it totally fits my personality today, because if things are upsetting or bothering me, this is where I go. I come here to the beach, and I have that solace. And it's unbelievable to see that over a several-month period, that all of this has come about, and the connections have been made, and the pieces of the puzzle come out. And it's just, it's been a fascinating, revealing experience.
Brosky says she's never been to Tibet or studied it in depth prior to this experience. She says the consistency and details of the memories and the evidence she's uncovered afterwards has convinced her that this was not just a dream or something her mind made up.
I would not have picked this for myself, you know, this older, you know, worn out gentleman from Tibet. You know, I had other visions of what I thought I could have been, which I may have, you know, if I went again. But this lifetime came because of the whole connection with the water. So seeing those images come to life through my own drawings and through what I did on the internet, it has to be. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that it wasn't. And I understand who that person was then, and I understand the parts of me today that were part of that person and that lifetime. And it's just an incredible feeling. And when I found this staff, I said, this was it. I've done this before. And it was like a deja vu experience. And again, the amount of times I'm on the beach walking with driftwood, it's never happened. It was with this particular piece, with this particular handle. And so of course I brought it home as part of my collection, and it's going to serve as a reminder to me of to go back to the basics. When you get stressed out and things happen in your life, to go back to that time period when things were really, really hard, but I managed to get through it.
And Kerriann says her past life adventure has given her a powerful insight into her own spiritual past and inspired her to connect more with the sea.
I did start doing some volunteer work for the Riverhead Foundation as a beach patrol person looking for cold-stunned turtles during the off-season. And it's a way of getting me out there, you know, in the cold, to do a good thing, to try to find, you know, turtles that possibly could be washed up. I said, well, the beach is always there. Just because it's the middle of January doesn't mean you can't go to the beach. So I do come down here, you know, in the wintertime. And I go to all different beaches, and it's that connection. And now I see where the connection comes from. It comes from there, that he would stand and look out and ponder his own life at that time and the decisions that he made to take his family and get away from the havoc and the horrible things that were going on during that time period in Tibet. And he lived very simply and very humbly, and he did exactly what I do, look out over the water and contemplate life.
For more information about the center, to find out how you can sign up for a past life regression session, check out the website sunrisecounselingcenter.com. In East Islip, Collora reporting.